from JR, and of course Captain Jack Sparrow with us.
Right. We haven't uploaded in about 2 weeks because we've had fumigation issues going on in the house, and the house has been a wreck, and we just haven't been able to record the way that we usually do. So, plus we also moved our office from the bedroom into the living room, and we've been getting the green screen together. I've also been working on designing some merch and our logo, which is right up there. And we also have another one that is over here and right about there. Yeah. That's one of our logos, and the one up there that I've been working on designing over the past few weeks. So that's kind of what we've been doing over the past couple of weeks too, is why we haven't been able to upload for the past 2 weeks. But we are back now, and we are going to be recording more frequently. But the schedule will be changing. I'm not going to be doing a solo video for me on Wednesdays anymore. I'm just going to be doing on my channel solo on Wednesdays on my channel. But he's still going to be doing his solo videos on Friday, and then these videos are still going to be going up on Monday. So on this channel, we're only going to be recording 2 days a week instead of 3 days a week. And I'll be throwing in some shorts here and there every so often of us working out or some recipes and things like that.
Yeah, because we do have a new recipe that I discovered that we both like, and she's gonna put that up sometime.
Yeah, I still have to record it, but
it's from an Instagram follower that's called Cheese is the New Bread.
Right, and
she really does some awesome stuff, and
yeah. So, but we do have some holidays for the week, and we're just doing this week because we're not going to go back the past 2 weeks. But today is the 21st, and we have National Peaches and Cream Day. We have National Selfie Day, National Seashell Day, and International Yoga Day.
And then Tuesday we have National Onion Ring Day, which I love onion rings. National Chocolate Eclair Day. I'm not a big fan of those.
I love it.
National Kissing Day and International Rainforest Day.
And then on Wednesday, the 23rd, we have National Pecan Sandies Day, National Pink Day, National Hydration Day, and International Widows Day.
Pink Sandies? Oh, it's a cookie, I guess. I don't know.
Pecan Sandies, it's a cookie.
Yeah.
I love those cookies. And
then Thursday, June 24th, we have National Praline Day,
my favorite.
National Swim a Lap Day, National Handshake Day, and International Fairy Day. My grandmother used to make pralines, and I didn't like pecans, so she'd make them with and without. So she'd make both.
Pralines. I love them. And then on Friday, which is June 25th, we have National Strawberry Parfait Day, National Take Your Dog to Work Day, National Food Truck Day, and International Day. It should be Day of Seafarer. I typed that wrong, but it's International Day of the Seafarer.
Hey, we take our dog to work every day.
Yep.
Saturday, June 26th, National Chocolate Pudding Day, National Beauticians Day, National Forgiveness Day, and what is that? National Barcode Day.
And then on Sunday, June 27th, we have National Ice Cream Cake Day, National Helen Keller Day, National Bingo Day, and National PTSD Awareness Day. And that is the holidays for this week. Now, we don't have a good feeling story today just because we've had so much going on. I didn't get a chance to go over that. Does he want to stay up or down?
I don't know what he wants to do, but he'll figure it out. All right.
But our topic for today is cancel culture. And we had actually, before we had our little break, we were actually going to talk about this before, and it still hasn't gone away. Cancel culture is still a very thing.
It'll never go away. Right. It's going to be
especially
a thing
right now.
Even after we're dead and gone, it will be a thing.
Right.
I mean, they did it to Paula Deen before cancel culture was even a thing.
And I know that right now there's a thing going on with Chrissy Teigen. She's one that used to, she tried to cancel a lot of people. she would bully people on Twitter, especially when somebody would do something that she felt was wrong. She would say things about them on Twitter and things like that. And now she's being called out for it. And she actually has apologized because she is realizing...
I saw that.
Yeah, she's realizing that she was bullying people, that she was part of things that she was complaining about. She was accusing other people of doing, and she's apologizing and realizing now that she was being a bully online, just like other people she was calling out on.
Kevin Hart in his interview said he's been canceled a lot.
Right.
It doesn't bother him because some of the things he's been canceled for is not even worth being talked about.
Right.
But like he said, if one person makes one mistake, shouldn't they get a second chance?
Right.
When somebody goes to prison and they get out, don't you try to give them a second chance? So if they mess up once, don't be rushed to cancel somebody.
Right.
Like Paula Dean said the N-word 20 years ago.
Right, and she was...
And she never did it since.
You can't cancel someone for something they did 20 years ago. I was a completely different person 20 years ago. I get up at 4:30 in the morning now. I go to the gym. 5 years ago, people would have thought that I wasn't doing that. People who knew me 15 and 20 years ago see how I'm working out and doing things now, and say, "What in the world happened to you?" Because I'm a different person than I was then. And that's something that I know that Phil DeFranco talks about all the time, is you can't punish someone right now for something they did 20 years ago. They're different people. He has talked about the fact that he was an asshole. He has said many times he was an asshole. He was a jerk. When he first started his YouTube career, when the first videos that were on his channel, he was a jerk, and he was a completely different person than he is now. And he's realized that, but he's not going to take those videos down. He hasn't taken any of his tweets or anything like that down,
the way I see
because it shows how much he's grown. If you look at who he was then and you look at who he is now, that shows how much he's grown. And a lot of people in Hollywood and a lot of people in public eye are the same way.
You shouldn't be quick to rush without giving them a chance to explain or apologize or put it into perspective, right? Because sometimes we are human and sometimes we say things the wrong way and we don't mean to.
Right.
Like for instance, there's a radio show that I don't listen to as much anymore, but they were talking about this whole Juneteenth thing.
Right.
They said, the government, canceling this and canceling that. The government makes a mistake. Oh, let's cancel the politicians. Give them a chance to explain what they're talking about.
Right.
I'm not really up to beat, so I have to look up examples of cancel culture. I had to look it up, different. In this article, they talk about the Gina Carano thing, J.K. Rowling. What they've done and why people wanted to cancel them for what they've done or what they've said.
Okay, what's the article?
It's just 10 examples of the top 10 recent examples of cancel culture. I had to Google examples of recent cancel culture.
Right.
And the first one in there, they talk about Mike Lindell. For whatever reason,
Yeah, Mike Lindell, the CEO of My Pillow. He is a huge Donald Trump supporter, and a lot of the reason that people, I know a lot of the reason that people want to cancel him is because, one, he backs Donald Trump's assertion that he won the election, and that Donald...
he should be canceled because he's a little cuckoo in the head.
Also, he keeps going, he keeps saying that he has all this evidence that the election was fixed and that Donald Trump is going to become the president, which that can't happen. The way that our law works is once Joe Biden was inaugurated, he is the president. Now, if Congress impeaches him, he can be taken out of the presidency, and then Kamala becomes the president, but Donald Trump doesn't become president. It doesn't. Right. Once he is Joe Biden is inaugurated, Donald Trump no longer has any say or any.
If you make that larger, will it make it larger on there? Just a little bit.
Yeah, I can do that.
Just a little bit. That's good. Because I can see now. And then the next one, they talk about Chris Harrison. You know, he defended, you know, one of the bachelorettes, you know, that attended an old party, you know, and pictures surfaced.
Right.
You know, and then you got J.K. Rowling, you know, for what she, you know, about trans, you know.
Right. She put down transgender people and things like that. And I mean, I can see where our society wants to cancel them, but everyone is entitled to their opinion. You know, we may not agree with any of their opinions, but in our society that we live in, we all are entitled to their opinions, our opinions, you know, and they shouldn't be told that they can't exist anymore just because their opinion is different than most of society's. That's not right. You know, my opinions on women working is not this. You know, is not the same as most women. You know, especially feminists, men-hating feminists.
Right.
You know, it's not. I don't feel the same as most of them do. My mom is the kind of person who wanted to do everything. You know, she wanted to have a career. She wanted to go to work and have kids and all of this. And I don't agree with that. I don't think that women should do that. And my brother and I were latchkey kids. We came home to empty houses, you know, because both my parents were working. I don't think that's right. But that is not it's not for me to tell other women that you're wrong and you shouldn't be a part of our society. You know, that is not how our society works. Cancel culture to me is taking away that freedom. The freedom of opinion.
See, I never really understood cancel culture. You know, that's why I got to read it up. You keep talking.
You know, and I mean, if you can pull up that one as well.
They wanted to cancel Kaepernick for him kneeling and he got out, you know. I mean, that's his right to feel that way.
Right.
You know?
And now, and the thing is that, 2-3 years ago, everyone wanted to cancel him because of him kneeling to try and tell people about police brutality and how police were I can't think of the words. How police were treating black people worse than they were treating white people. But now everyone agrees with him. Now
not everyone. Majority of people.
But the majority of people, and with our society, with all the not just riots, the protests last year, you know, it's all about the things he was talking about 3 or 4 years ago. You know, but until it happened with George Floyd and then what happened in Minnesota, nobody, the spotlight wasn't on it. You know, it was just him, and people thought of him as, you know.
Right. To me, you know, like I said, there's a lot of things that people try to cancel. For instance, even food.
Right.
It's like, why now? Why 20, 30, 40, 50 years now these products have been in existence and now all of a sudden this new generation is offended by it? I respect it. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be outspoken. I'm not saying that. But a product and it's been in existence, all you got to do is campaign to see about them changing the name.
And they are doing
well,
that.
some of them want them to just like stop selling it.
Right.
Like, for instance, as a bigger guy that used to be a big dude, and I see the ice cream, Fat Boy ice cream sandwiches.
Right.
It doesn't offend me.
I'll go back to
it. It doesn't offend me.
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to let something like that offend me to take stance against it. Fat Boy pizza.
Same thing.
Same thing. It doesn't offend me.
Oh, I want to try Fat Boy's pizza. But
we have.
We have?
Yes, before your surgery, we had, because we tracked down the truck over there by Lake Cotton Hall.
Oh, that's true. That was really good. That was, yeah, because they didn't have the stores open. They had the truck.
No, the stores were open, but they also had a truck.
They had the truck going.
It was before the pandemic.
No.
Yes.
I thought it was during the pandemic.
It was before.
At least things are starting to get back open.
But canceling things.
Yeah, I mean, cancel
culture. It happened to Hulk Hogan because he said the N-word to Booker T during an interview, and then 8, 9, 10 years later they want to bring it up. Why not bring it up when it happens? Why not bring it up when it happens?
I know, and I mean that's the whole problem with cancel culture is they're going to the past, things that happened in the past, to cancel people for it. It's like, okay, if you're not going to address it, then it's not. Especially if people have changed, or if they don't do those certain things, they see how wrong it was that they were saying words that are not acceptable.
And CNN has a great article. I haven't read it, but it says, "Is it time to cancel this cancel culture?"
Right.
You know.
And I mean, and to me, the way that I feel is that cancel culture is stripping away people's right to their opinions, or stripping away people's right of freedom. They're taking away people's freedoms of their own expression, their own opinions. And that is something about our country, is that we have that right. We have the right to have our own opinions.
Look, I know.
That is part of what makes our country good, is that we have the right to our own opinions. We have the freedom to express our opinions the way that we want to. And that's something that's trying to be taken away from us. I mean, especially with the laws that are going on or trying to be pushed right now.
I know.
You know, a lot of our freedoms.
I'm not the greatest person in the world. I'm not the nicest person in the world.
Sometimes.
But
sometimes
I can be the greatest friend,
right,
or the worst enemy. But I'm not gonna cancel or try to shun somebody for one mistake.
Right. Everybody makes mistakes, and that's just it. Especially with cancel culture, is that if you make a mistake, they want to vilify you for it. And nobody is perfect. Nobody in this world is perfect, and we all make mistakes, and we all slip up here and then, you know. And
I think this got out of hand about 10 years ago when people started bringing up the blackface that celebrities would wear back then.
I mean,
at the time,
right, in the 20s and 30s,
it was funny.
It was funny, but it wasn't right. Especially black people didn't like it, but black people didn't speak up, or they weren't heard if they did try to speak up.
But again,
I know, and I mean,
so if a black person was to dress up and put on white makeup to look like a white person, it's okay.
No,
exactly. But people find that. People, they don't want to look at. The problem is with society is most of the people want to look at only one side.
I know.
They don't want to look at both sides.
I know.
And if you're going to justify something, you got to look at it from both sides of the situation.
Right.
Look, you know, I see people as people.
Right.
As human beings. I don't see people as black, white, Spanish, Mexican, green, purple, orange. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I want to know how you treat me as a person.
Right.
Not as a man or a woman or a skin color or, you know, I just recently, you know, found my new psychiatrist says I have PTSD, complex. He doesn't know where it comes from,
right,
but I have PTSD and ADHD, right, something I never knew before.
Right.
So maybe that explains some of my control issues. Maybe that explains why I'm so quick to fly off the handle.
Right.
You know, but the thing is, they quick when somebody makes a mistake, they want to quick to shut them down.
Right.
I mean, Gail Godot's been a victim of it.
Right.
And I'll tell you right now, if there was two celebrities living today, oh my God, maybe three.
Mm-hmm.
George Carlin, Richard Pryor, and Red Fox. If them three were living today, the shit that come out their mouth, people would want to, every other week they'd be wanting to cancel them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Richard Pryor, definitely. I mean, the things that he used to talk about.
I mean, but he made fun of himself too. Right. I mean, he talked about when he had caught on fire freebase, and he'd be like, "This is me running down the street," you know. But still, the stuff that would come out of their mouths, they would be quick to cancel.
Oh yeah.
And Kevin Hart, being a comedian, he's like, if you can't make people laugh, and people take offense to a joke, right, without trying to understand the joke, right, or the punchline.
Mm-hmm. And see, I watched Jeff Dunham, his YouTube channel, and he had a conversation with, I think, Gabriel Iglesias, and they were both talking about they would hate to be starting right now. Because the way that especially comedians, when they start, they go into comedy clubs and they test things out and they push the line. They're always pushing the line to see what's funny and what's not, what other people think is funny. And to be starting out today with cell phones and cameras, people can get canceled before they ever get started. You know, George Carlin, if he were starting today, he would never have gotten started. And he was one of the funniest comedians.
I have a feeling that today he'd still be as popular because he's a political comedian. He talks about actual stuff like
I know that, but in the atmosphere today of people getting so offended so easily, I don't think he'd have ever been able to get started. I really don't. A lot of the old comedians that we used to watch when we were younger, I don't think ever would have gotten started in today's society.
Andrew Dice Clay wouldn't get started today.
No, Andrew Dice Clay would have never gotten started.
Eddie Murphy.
Right.
I don't think people
because people are so easily
Cat
offended.
Williams. I don't think he would be.
Right.
If he was to start now, he probably wouldn't be popular.
I know.
Not even.
I think the Wayans brothers.
Jim Carrey. Who's the one?
Robin Williams.
Not him. He had the show on Comedy Central and
Louis Anderson.
No, he was in that movie with the weed about weed.
I don't know what you're talking about. You would.
Dave Chappelle probably wouldn't get started today.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, Bernie Mac wouldn't be here today. Cedric, all of these old school comedy. Bill Cosby, Tracy Morgan, Mike
Cosby
Epps.
was always G-rated. He would have got.
It's not about G-rated. It's not just about G-rated. It's about the jokes in general, whether they're offensive, whether they're curse-worthy, or they're just regular jokes. Period.
Right, and I mean.
They got a lot of comics out there that are clean jokes, and they're still pushing the line without using curse words. They can still be offensive.
I know.
They got, if you look at Netflix, they got a couple of specials on there that they say Christian comedies.
Right.
So just because they don't use curse words doesn't mean that people doesn't find things offensive.
Right. I know.
You know. I know Bill Cosby was a G-rated comedian, but that doesn't mean that some of his jokes wasn't.
What's really weird is everything that he has been accused and found guilty of over the past 10 years, and his comedy. It's kind of like the things that he talked about in his comedy was so opposite of the things that he was actually doing.
Well, nobody's canceling him.
Oh, he's definitely canceled.
People still watch, but no, I'm talking about like people still buy his merchandise. He's probably more popular with memes and comedy now than he probably.
Definitely.
I mean, people probably make more funny shirts now of him than he's probably ever made in his life, and he did. That wasn't his intention.
Right.
I mean,
but that's where we need to.
Celebrities, I mean, just in general, celebrities, chefs, musicians. You can't be quick to just jump on somebody and cancel them over one fatal flaw. Right. You got to give them a chance to come. Give them a few days. Let them step out and say, "Okay, I didn't mean it this way. I meant it this way."
Give them a chance to apologize.
Right, and fix it and be like, "Okay, I meant to say this, not this way."
Right. But that is going to be it for us today.
If y'all notice,
he shaved his head. But we will be back next week, and
I will have a Friday video. Don't know what the topic is. I'm gonna work on that this weekend, and because I wasn't expecting to record today,
right. But also I will have in the description a link to our new merch. We have some T-shirts, we have some bottles, some stickers, different sayings on T-shirts, as well as our logos, and just a couple of different things that I'm trying to get out. So that will be linked in the description box below, as well as our social medias, as always. But I hope that you like this video and that you come back, and we will be back on next Monday. So
Like, comment, share, questions,
Right.
all the fun stuff. And if you want us to talk about something that we don't know what's going on, let us know.
Right.
But we try to stay up to date on current events, things that are being brought up. So
we will see you next week. Enjoy your week. Bye-bye.